All right, well, I thought I'd take a minute to come in here and just give a real quick update. Some of you guys may not even really care, but, hey, those of you that are following my business and following, our projects and our growth and, and all that kind of stuff, I just thought I'd share. So I came out here this morning. We've got this board here glued up, and I got another one in here. No, I don't. I got another one right there glued up. So we were going to run those through the planer, get them planed down, and get those boards ready to turn into end grain cutting boards. And so the planer is probably the single most important tool that I've got next to my table saw. Table saw and planer, they're right up there. So, I came out here and I couldn't get the height to rise. So I couldn't get it to rise up. And as you can see, if you look at it, it's at an angle right here. Right, this side's rising, this side's not. And I tried everything. And we cleaned it out. There wasn't really a lot of debris holding it. I thought that maybe there might have been some rust buildup in here. Because even though I keep it covered with tarps, we do have it outside. So I have to do a little bit more maintenance to it and can make sure it stays oiled and greased a little bit more than, the general person might, who keeps their stuff inside. And I couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to rise. So I took it apart. As you can see, it's disassembled. The hood is over there and the rest of it's over there. And some of the parts are over there. And I took it apart so that I could try to find out what was obstructing it. And, I worked on it for 20-30 minutes and nothing. So I went to take it apart because there's a gear and a chain underneath of it, a drive chain underneath of it. And so I went to take it apart to see if maybe that was slipping and maybe that was what was causing it. I didn't really think so, since this side is raising, but this side's not. But, hey, I was out of ideas. And as I flipped it on its side to take it apart, I noticed this. This is what, in my neck of the woods, this is where I come from, is called an absolute catastrophic failure. This is a complete disaster for me. If you turn this and look, you will see a very clean break, complete break. This entire thing is broken. Don't know when it happened. I noticed last night when I was using it that it was cutting a little strange and it sounded a little off. And I kind of made a mental note to come out today and kind of clean it up. But I wanted to get those boards done before I did that. Well, I cannot do what I do without this planer. This planer is absolutely essential to the work that I do. And that is not repairable. That is a complete catastrophic failure, which means this Dewalt 734 planer is a total complete loss. I looked on Marketplace to see if I could find another one. There's nothing. There's one of these available for almost $600 nearby, but hell, for that kind of money, I just go buy a brand new one, right? The 735 is only $769 brand new. Unfortunately, I don't have $769 right now, so we're going with a different brand. I do a lot of Kobalt tools. I know there's a lot of people that have opinions about Kobalt, but I do a lot of Kobalt tools, and the Kobalt planer is a 13-inch planer, but this is a 12.5, and it's considered a fairly good planer among people that aren't brand snobs, So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to take this one off the table because I'm still going to need the table. And catastrophic failure. This is a complete disaster for me. And this is why, we charge what we charge, because eventually, somewhere down the road, these tools break. And when they break, they need to be replaced. And unfortunately, this is not a tool that I can just kind of put to the side and replace later when I make some money. This is a tool that has to be replaced today. I have to have another planer today. So it is what it is. That's where we're at. I'll let y'all know when we get the other one. Peace out. All right, well, we're back from the store. We went with the Kobalt, the blue brand. and went ahead and got this one. It's about $230 cheaper than the Dewalt 735. And the Dewalt 735 you have to buy the outfeed table for. This comes with the outfeed table, so you know, it is what it is. I'd rather had the 735, but I've heard a lot of good things about this thickness planer right here, and we're going to give it a shot. So we'll let you know what we think about it. All right, we are set back up, and we're going to see how this thing does. One of the advantages, I guess, that we have with this planer over the Dewalt is that the Dewalt 734 that I had is a 12.5 inch planer, whereas this one is a 13 inch, and half inch doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a good amount of difference. So yeah, we're at 13 inches now. This is set up. It seems fairly solidly built. There's not a whole lot of reviews out there on it. The top part of it is like an aluminum. The sides are plastic, pretty much the same as the Dewalt. That doesn't have the carry handles that the Dewalt had, these right here. It does have a carry hook where you can put your hands, but I keep it on the table, so that's, you know, not a big deal. Eventually we plan on moving this inside and building a dedicated spot for it. Honestly, that's where it should be, but you know, sometimes things don't really work the way it should for me. So you know, looks like we have the same thing here, so we can set it at 1/8, 1 3/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 inch, 3/4, half inch, and 1/4 inch, which is a little bit more versatile than what the Dewalt had. The Dewalt had a setting set at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and I think this is, I don't know what the 0 is. Oh, the 0, yeah. That would be no clearance at all. Let's see. We're down on this pretty hard, so I can't really see. So 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and a 0. I don't think it will actually go down to 0, but it is what it is. I've never gone lower than a half inch on it, so you know, I don't know real how versatile it is. But having this set at a 1 1/4 and 1 1/2, having this option to set this at 1 3/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, and 1 inch is fairly badass. I mean, I think that's a really good feature on here, because a lot of times I want my stuff to be uniform in the 1 3/4, 1 1/2, 1 inch range. So having that set there is pretty good. The height scale right here seems to be pretty easy to read in comparison to the height scale on the Dewalt, which was not quite so easy to read. So this one here, wow, what are we doing with the, wow, we are way out of focus here. Not sure what's going on with my camera, but we are way out of focus. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. So we have this, and then there's the, sorry about that. And then there's this little needle gauge right here that read that. So this is a little bit better, I think. You know, we're still running the black and white numbers, but I like this little plastic gauge that's on here just a little bit better. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know how well the snipe lock, you know, this locks it so that you have less snipe. I don't know how well it's going to work. I didn't really find it very useful on the 734, the Dewalt, but the 734 on the Dewalt didn't really give me very much snipe very often either. In-feed and out-feed tables, I haven't checked them yet. We'll check them here in a second. They look to be adjusted fairly level, but like I said, we'll have to put a straight edge on it and find out for sure. I always had a lot of problems with the out-feed table on the Dewalt. I was constantly having to adjust them. I'm really not sure why, but you know, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. So all in all, in comparison, this is about this is 79 pounds, this is 90 pounds, so it's a little bit lighter, considerably lighter. On this one right here, the dust chute came out on this side of the machine. This one comes out on this side, which I do like a lot better because I use the shop vac and I alternate between the saw and this one right here, the planer. So having it on this side actually makes things a little bit easier for me. The opening for the dust chute is about the same on both of them, so there's really no difference there. I need an adapter that'll fit it tightly. Right now I just kind of stick it in there. It does okay, it works. So that's, you know, about as much as I got to say about it, I guess. We're gonna plug it in, we're gonna run that through there, we're gonna see how that does. We'll catch you guys a little bit later on. All right, first board I planed down went very well. Just a couple shallow passes cleaned it up really nice. Really smooth. There's no gouging anything in it. I did not adjust the feed table. I ran it through just to see what it was going to do, and there was no snipe. Didn't have any issues at all. This one, on the other hand, is going to take a little bit more time. You can see there's a big, probably an 1/8 of an inch gap in between these two right here, and so we need to get that leveled out. And so we're going to put it through a little bit more work right there and see how long it takes. As far as noise level, there's not a huge amount of difference between this one and the Dewalt 734, and I don't know if it's because the blades are brand new or not, but I actually think this one's a little quieter than the Dewalt 734. I don't know. Well, that'll remain to be seen. It's not any louder, but it may be a little bit quieter. We'll have to wait and see once the blades get used down a little bit, because the Dewalt was a little bit quieter when the blades were brand new also. So anyway, let's hit this one and we'll come back in just a few minutes. Okay, we've got this one planed down. It didn't take very long at all. It planed down very smooth, very quickly, and I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. I mean, the one complaint that I might have right now, and keep in mind I've only run 2 items through this planer. We've used it for a total of maybe 5-10 minutes, so my opinion may change over time, but right now the only complaint that I may have is that the dust collection seems to be lacking. You guys can see quite a bit down underneath here, and we had the shop vac on. Now, with that being said, I haven't dumped the shop vac. The shop vac may very well be pretty close to being full. This is not a perfect fit, so there's a little bit of gap right here, but you can see that it's not, you know, it's missing quite a bit of the stuff here, and so I don't know if the issue is on the shop vac side of things. I know that the fact that this isn't a tight fit definitely contributes, but with the Dewalt, when I stuck that in there with the Dewalt, it did a pretty decent job. So this has left a lot of extra chips that the Dewalt did not have. Again, I haven't looked inside the shop vac, so if I were to look inside the shop vac and find out the shop vac is pretty much full, then that would be a pretty big contributing factor as to why this didn't suck out as much, and we'd have to try it again. I can maybe let you guys know a little bit later, somewhere else down the road. Overall, I'm very happy with it, especially considering the fact that this was $230 cheaper than the Dewalt 735, and that the Dewalt 735 does not come with the in-feed and out-feed table, so you have to order those separately. I played with the idea of getting the 735 and seeing if the out-feed and in-feed tables from the 734 would fit, but I decided not to do that because this one has really good reviews, and it was $230 cheaper, and right now I need the $230 more than I need the Dewalt name brand, right? So that's my review for today. Hope it helps somebody. We're back to business again, so we're going to get these trimmed up, we're going to get these cut down, get these ready to turn into end grain boards, and then hopefully we can get a little bit more work done today. Definitely have a mess to clean up. We got to put that up, we got to throw that away, we got to put that back together. I'm going to put it up for somebody to take as parts if they want it as parts, but again, it's broke here, so you see it's broke right here, it's broke across here, all the way across here. That whole piece broke. I don't think it's repairable, but hey, there may be a person out there who's crafty enough to fix all that, and then they've got a planer. If somebody wants it, then we'll throw it out there. If they don't want it, then we'll throw it away. All right, either way it goes, I ain't keeping it. But we'll catch you guys later on. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. If there's anything that you guys want me to touch on, or anything that you want to know, feel free to send me a message, let me know, or comment in the comments. All right, we'll catch y'all later on. Peace out.